too slow. You shall die. I am the storm that is approaching, provoking like mountain isolation.
What's up, you motivated gamers? Today I'll finally be talking about Vergil, who's been dragged into PGR by Kuro Games to pay for Alpha's child support. Vergil is a slash and kind of physical attacker omniframe arriving in the upcoming Lamento di Fantasia Devil May Cry 5 x Punishing Grey Raven collab update. And in this video guide, I'll cover his meta playstyle rotations, rank upgrades, weapons, builds and team setups, his cub, and my pull and build recommendations. I'll also cover his entire moveset near the end of the video, and yes, how to do the motivational combo. And please check the pinned comment down below for any updates or corrections, because mistakes can happen, and timestamps will be provided as usual. And if you found this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more guides, check out my Twitch, and share this to those who are interested in Vergil or the Devil May Cry collab. And I'll try to answer any questions in the comments when I can. This is gonna be a long one, and I lost a lot of sleep and vitamin D for this, but you guys asked for it, so you better be prepared for the storm that is approaching. So as DMC players know, Vergil has a lot of possible moves to perform, so for this section I'll cover his kit at a basic level for his meta relevant moves with a TLDR afterwards, and then cover his meta rotations for those who just care about that and don't want to sit through his entire move repertoire.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Near the end of the video though, I'll cover the rest of his moveset more in depth, including the motivational combo for the gamers who want to style on enemies. Of course, I'll have timestamps for each section for your convenience. So Vergil starts in his normal human state, and like Lucia Pyro Oath or Han Ying Solace Tune, he has white orbs indicating how many orb pinks he has, and this is seen on the second row of orbs here. For those who haven't played PGR, these orbs can be obtained from basic attacking or being off-field for a while. Vergil has 3 weapons that he can select from by tapping the respective orb. The red orb or Yamato is his starting orb, the blue orb is the Mirage Edge Blade, and the yellow orb is the Beowulf. He also has a dedicated jump button, which is the first orb slot that can be used for certain attacks and combos. Now tapping the orb again will use the ability, and tapping basic attack during the animation fills up the core gauge to full if you have white orbs that can be consumed. And this will fill up the gauge and allow you to enter the ult form. Ulting will enter Sin Devil Trigger, and here you'll be performing specific attacks to build ult energy by consuming white orbs. So with the red orb, you can hold or spam basic attack. With the blue orb, you can dodge and hold or spam basic attack. And with the yellow orb, you can hold jump and release after 1 to 3 charges to do damage. And the blue and yellow orb attacks build stacks indicated by the number near the gauge with a max of 300 stacks, and these will be consumed with the ultimate finisher to boost its damage. Then lastly, you can hold ultimate to use the Judgment Cut End ult finisher, swapping Vergil back to the human state and detonating all slash stacks. So to sum it up, you want to swap in, tap an orb to select your weapon, tap it again to use the attack, tap basic attack quickly to fill the gauge, ultimate to enter Sin Devil Trigger ult form, and then here you have multiple avenues depending on your content you're facing. So you can hold basic attack with red, dodge or spam or hold basic attack with blue to build ultimate multiplier stacks, and hold jump for up to 3 charges and release with yellow. And afterwards you can hold ultimate for the Judgment Cut and finisher. And this is the bare essential of Vergil for rotations, so let's jump into some meta rotations for each move. As for rotations, all ranks basically have the same team rotation, so here are some meta example ones to get you started, but Vergil probably has the most varied moveset of any character, and you may need to adjust on the fly depending on the white orb management or enemies or waves that you are facing. So as always, it depends. I will have timestamps for each rotation though. As for the slash Warzone, I highly recommend a SS3 deadline timing Han Ying for the slash stack generation, with Deer or Lingya Pet with the orb passive on Alisa, and a SS deadline timing Vergil, although you can make it work without deadline timing. So we're going to start here on Alisa and swap into Vergil for the starting rotation. Note that the swap and attack on Vergil does not count as a red orb, so you will need to tap the red orb again, and then you'll want to basic attack and wait for the gauge to fill, and then you can enter the ultimate. You want to hold basic attack to use 2 stages of the white orbs, which should have a sound indicator, and then hold the ult finisher ASAP, and during the ult animation you want to tap the blue orb, Then if you have deadline timing, you can use a blue orb plus basic attack and swap off. And you can swap into Han Ying for her 1 ult slash rotation, so yellow ping, red orb ping until you have the green orb. Use the green orb, tap the ultimate, 3 blue tap ult, 3 blue tap ult, and then basic attack to detonate, and then repeat it again, so 3 blue tap ult, 3 blue tap ult, basic to detonate, and then tap ult 3 times, and then hold ult for the finisher. And then here you can swap off into Elisa for her regular physical rotation. Hold basic, keep spamming orbs until you hit the ultimate finisher. And note when Vergil swaps back in, you can perform the motivated rotation if you have deadline timing. Otherwise, you just repeat the starting rotation again. So we'll swap into Vergil, enter ult here. Hold basic attack to consume white orbs or basic attack 3 times. Use the hold ult finisher ASAP. During the ult animation, you want to tap blue. And in here, you want to basic attack a bit for the white orbs. Blue orb plus basic attack. And that should be enough to enter ultimate. And here we want to dodge and then hold basic attack for the million stabs until the ultimate is up. And you should have 3 white orbs left to do a blue orb plus basic attack and prep for the next rotation. And then you just swap off and repeat. And note that the timing for Vergil's white orbs can be extremely tight, so try not to waste any of them by holding down basic attack or the judgment cuts for too long. I recommend turning up the sound effects to better hear the judgment cuts going off, and make sure that the hold basic attack or judgment cut is actually hitting enemies, even if it means waiting for the enemies to spawn. And you must have the deer pet with the orb passive on Elisa and deadline timing on Vergil for the motivated Vergil rotation. Again, this is not the end all be all slash rotation, and you can mix and match many other possible combos, especially with the red orb and blue orb being fairly interchangeable. But however you do it, make sure to weave in basic attacks somewhere in the rotation when in human form to generate enough white orbs for his attacks, even with deadline timing. Alternatively, you can do 2 Han Ying rotations and keep Vergil on the same starting rotation. It's much simpler and easier to pull off, but it has a lower damage ceiling. You also want to use QTEs when Vergil uses his ultimates for the maximum damage. As for the slash Paincage rotation, if you have a highly ranked or highly resonated Vergil, so triple S or multiple resonances, you can basically do that starting rotation from Warzone. So you can start by swapping in, using the red orb, and then basic attack right after to fill up the gauge, enter ultimate, hold down basic attack to consume as many white orbs as needed, then hold ult for the finisher with QTEs and the pet. But if you have a lower ranked Vergil, so like a double S Vergil with a 6-star weapon, or the Paincage boss is a lot more tanky, then you want to go with the regular slash Paincage rotation. So you want to start by swapping in Vergil, switching to the blue orb, using blue orb plus basic attack, entering ult form, then dodging and holding down basic attack to build the stacks. And then once you reach the desired amount of stacks, you can go ahead and hold ult for the finisher to detonate the stacks for damage with QTEs and the pet skill. For later stage bosses, you can start with Han Ying slash rotation to build slash stacks for Vergil and then detonate it with the previous rotation. For the physical, Warzone, or Paincage rotation, if you don't own Selena Finissimo or Bianca Stigmata, Vergil can be an okay budget physical attacker, but yes, Stigmata is still stronger than Vergil in physical stages, but not slash. So we're going to start with Elisa here with the deer pet equipped and the orb passive also on it, and then swap into Han Ying to do her single ult rotation, so yellow orb, red orb until the green orb is up, tap the green orb, tap the ultimate, tap ult 3 to 4 times, and then do the hold ult finisher. And then we'll swap into Vergil and tap yellow orb twice, and then tap basic attack. You can tap basic attack here again if you want, otherwise tap ultimate to enter form, hold jump for about 2 to 3 seconds to fully charge it up, and then release for the uppercut. And then use the hold ult finisher with QTEs and pet. And then you can tap yellow, tap basic attack, and then swap into Elisa for her regular physical rotation. So again, same here, hold basic, keep spamming orbs until the ult finisher, and then swap off. Then afterwards, you can go into Han Ying's double ult physical rotation. Red orb until the green orb is up, tap that green orb, tap ult to enter form, tap ult 3 to 4 times, hold ult finisher, and then repeat again for the second ult rotation. And then yeah, that's basically it. It's mostly Han Ying carrying this theme, but let's just pretend it's Vergil. So that does it for the meta rotations. They will take practice, especially the deadline timing slash Warzone rotation, but you guys like molding, right? Now, before I get into its rank upgrades, let me briefly explain how to get copies of Vergil. DMC characters will not have Paincage skulls. Instead, you will need to pull for them in their limited time banners. And Devil May Cry character, Cub, and weapons all have different currency, so you'll need to convert black cards into specific banner currencies that you need, but the conversion is 1-to-1. Basically, it means that you can't really use the gold construct tickets, so keep those for the next S rank, I guess. Now note that pulls are discounted only for characters, so each character costs 175 tickets instead of the 250 black card equivalent for a single pull. So for a full 60 pity, that's 10,500 DMC construct tickets or black cards instead of the regular 15,000. And note that weapons and cubs are not discounted, so they'll still be the full 250 basically black cards, and all have different currency, so keep that in mind. Now, Devil May Cry has a pull one, get one free offer, and you can get this offer twice for each DMC character. So for example, if you pull Vergil, you'll get a free Vergil for an instant SS, which is the first redemption of the buy one, get one free. Then you'll grab his weapon and cub if you're going for the meta baseline, and then you can choose to pull Vergil again to bring him close to SS, which will redeem the final buy one, get one free offer, and it's basically a stepping stone to SS. And in order to get him to SS, you will need to pull him a third time without the pull one, get one free offer, and that will bring him to SS. For my rank recommendations, we will automatically get him to SS by pulling for him, so we'll get the S5 passive where he triggers available QTEs when entering the ult form or when using his ultimate finisher, and his SS passive where we get the 3 free white orbs on swap in, and in the ult form he does 20% more critical damage. Finally, when swapping off after using his ult finisher, he procs off-field physical damage for a brief period. All his upgrades after SS are just mainly damage increases, so his SS3, after entering his ultimate, the doppelgangers deal more damage, and after using the ultimate finisher, the QTE damage is greatly increased for the rest of the battle. SS and above is just more ultimate finisher damage basically, so each stack will increase the ultimate finisher damage, the number next to the gauge, and if using the ultimate finisher with gauge remaining, it deals more slash damage. So for my rank recommendations TLDR, SS is the ideal minimum investment for most players and free to play, and since we get that for free, it allows for proper rotations and is very playable in the meta baseline for Vergil. SS3 is kind of meh, it's not really worth stopping at or getting. Instead, you want to go all the way to SS if you're going to commit, since it improves his ultimate finisher damage, which is his main source of damage. It's ideal for those who are motivated to dump their savings for more power, but it's mostly just a stopping point for heavy spenders. The higher priority before SS is the weapon, so let's cover that next. So now let's cover his weapons, starting with his faster weapon here. We obtained the faster weapon for free when we obtained Vergil, and now we're trying to answer, is he dependent on the 6-star weapon or can he just use the faster weapon? So for the physical rotation here, as you can see, we can basically do the same rotation as the 6-star weapon and it works out completely fine. So we have enough energy for the ultimate finisher, and then we can continue on with our day. So the physical rotation is completely fine. And if you don't own Bianca Stigmata or Selena Pianissimo, then the faster weapon should be fine as a very budget alternative. Now for slash, basically what it comes down to is that you can really only use the starter or fast rotation. As you can see here, after we use the judgment cuts, we basically have no more white orbs and we have to swap out. And this is basically the same story as the blue orb. After we use our million stabs, we basically don't have any more white orbs after the judgment cut and ult finisher to continue on, so we're gonna have to swap off. So TLDR for the faster weapon, it's able to perform the physical damage rotations fine, albeit with less damage, but the slash rotations become limited to one short ult rotation. But honestly, if you're hitting slash affix content with a 5-star weapon, then you're kinda cooked anyways. As for the 6-star weapon, it gives him more crit damage, but more importantly, it gives him Matrix when entering the ult form, which gives him a lot more white orbs to expend, and he also gains stacks twice as fast when using the hold basic attack million stab. Overall, the 5-star weapon is playable, but it greatly limits its output to very short bursts with lower damage, and the 6-star weapon is highly recommended for proper damage in meta slash rotations. As for the resonances, deadline timing is ideal to allow for more white orbs to be pinged and more consistent and comfortable rotations, highly recommended for Vergil. If you have extra resonance slots, then you can go with Afterglow or Incandescence for more increased attack. As for the team setup and builds, Vergil should be the leader for slash, with Han Ying being the leader for physical, and the starter is the Da Vinci bot or amplifier, which is Elisa. Vergil will be running 4-piece patent since he does not have a dedicated set, and 2-piece Kadi is his only 2-piece set for the faster ultimates. You want to harmonize Kadi for the increased ultimate damage, and you want to resonate plus 15 attack. The crit is not as necessary since you have Elisa, with the bottom slot being ultimate or signature move. You want to hypertune all memories here, starting with the bottom row, then grab the top row for the crit. And we'll pick red for the Infinitas Awaken because that's his default orb. As for Han Ying, if she's SS3 or higher, she'll be running her 4-piece Cheng Wu Zi and 4-piece Da Vinci to support the team. And for resonance, class passive is now preferred, but core passive is still okay since she does damage still. As for Halisa, she'll be running her 4-piece Signa and 2-piece Philip with harmonizing 2-piece Philip here. And for resonance, you'll want class skill as well. Now what's important to note for Elisa is to make sure she has the deer pet with the orb passive. That way Vergil has enough orbs during his slash rotation. Now if you're broke AF on resources for the slash team, or you're running the physical team with double S Hanying, you can run her on 4-piece Changwuzi and 2-piece Kadi to allow for double ultimates in the physical team. And here you want to harmonize Catherine. Note that the preferred resonance for the physical teams will be core passive. And for the budget slash team, 2-piece Catherine takes priority over 2-piece Kadi. And here you want to harmonize Darwin. As for Elisa, she'll be running her 4-piece Signa and 2-piece Da Vinci, and then you want to harmonize Da Vinci here and make sure that you have classical resonance. As explained in the Selena video, Rosetta works as a budget option for a physical tank if you don't have Hanying. So make sure that you run 4-piece Luwen Hook and 2-piece Catherine on her, unless she's triple S, in which case you can run 4-piece Da Vinci instead. And if you don't have Elisa, although she is free from the dorm shop through dorm expedition currency and battle pass vouchers, but you may be prioritizing maybe Lilith or Wansha shards first, which you should, then technically you can go ahead and use something like Live Eclipse or Elite Live Luminance, and they could run 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece Philip until you get Elisa. Also note that Ishmael does not work as a physical amplifier or tank, so I better not be seeing any of you guys trying to do that. Now let's cover his pet or cub, the Mirage Blade. Its passive skill increases the ultimate damage finisher by 50%, and it does multiple coordinated attacks throughout Vergil's moveset. But is it worth pulling? Well, it's a decent damage increase to his overall moveset, but mainly the 50% damage buff to his ultimate finisher, Judgment Cut End. But to perform all the combos, you don't even need the pet equipped. The pet just strengthens the cub skill damage and slow, so let's talk about them next. Alright, due to overwhelming demand, I will now cover every possible moveset for Vergil. I'll only do it this time because I love you guys. Not really. Starting with the Yamato move combos with the red orb selected basically. We have the Void Slash, where you tap a red orb, and it's a slow wave that detonates after a couple seconds, and if you have any white orbs, this will fill the gauge to full if the white orbs are consumed, and it will allow him to enter his ult form. Tapping basic attack during this animation will perform Rapid Slash. Next is Yamato combo, so in regular form it's a 4-hit basic attack string with the last hit being a slash that can launch enemies airborne, and in the ult form it's a 6-hit attack string that consumes white orbs to increase its damage and gives ultimate finisher energy and stacks for the ultimate. Now what you can do is after the 3rd hit, tapping basic attack repeatedly after a short pause will do rapid slashes or the Yamato C combo, and it will finish with the 4th hit attack. And finally, there's the Judgment Cut, where you do hold basic, hold red, or hold jump, and it does a Judgment Cut attack, consuming 3 gray orbs and any existing slash stacks to increase its damage. And you can also perform a perfect Judgment Cut if timed perfectly, and you can tell because the animation is a lot faster. Now for his Mirage Edge or Blue Orb combos, you have the Drive, which is just tap blue, and you can also hold it if you want, forms a ranged wave slash attack that fills the gauge to half, and if you tap basic attack during the animation, you can cast Overdrive to gain slash stacks as well. If there's white orbs, it will consume those to fill the gauge to half, and he'll set it up for his ultimate form. Next, you have the Mirage Edge combo, which is a 2-hit basic attack into a thrust attack. And there's the Million Stab, so if you hold and spam basic attack after 2 hits, he'll perform the Million Stab, rapidly spamming thrusting attacks with his Mirage Edge sword and consuming white orbs. And each thrust gives ultimate energy and stacks for the ultimate finisher as well. Next up we have the Upward Strike, which is holding down the jump button, do an upward strike, and you can do this with the Yamato blade as well, the red orb. Next up is the Beowulf or yellow orb combos, starting with kick 13, which is tapping the yellow orb. It is a kick that fills the gauge to half. If you tap basic attack during this animation though, it'll cast Rising Sun, and if there's white orbs available, it'll fill the gauge to full and allow him to enter his ult form. Next up is the Beowulf combo, which is just tapping basic attack. It's a 4-hit basic attack string dealing physical damage in his human form, and 5 hits if it's in his ultimate form. You can also hold basic attack anytime during the basic attack string to charge up to 3 levels for more damage. And in the ult form, it also grants ultimate energy and ultimate multiplier stacks. Finally, we have Beast Uppercut, which is obtained by holding down jump to perform different moves at different levels, dealing physical damage. So level 1 is the Enhanced Beast Uppercut, level 2 is the Rising Dragon, and level 3 is the Twin Dragon Breaker. These last 2 moves will grant significant ultimate finisher energy and ultimate multiplier stacks, and it'll also consume white orbs to grant more energy and stacks as well. So DMC characters have 2 special inputs. The first is the jump, but the second is tapping the core passive bar, which will trigger their taunt. So on PC, that's actually the G key. Don't ask me on controller, I have no idea how to do it. Maybe someone in the comments can update me on that, but you can also cast this mid-air as well. There are also shared weapon combos, such as the Soaring Strike, which is being in mid-air and tapping basic attack. So the red orb, that's the Aerial Rave. Blue orb, that's the Helmbreaker. And yellow orb, that is the Rising Lunar Phase. Next up, we have the Meteor Strike, which is holding jump in mid-air to do a downward slash. So for the red orb, that'll be the Aerial Cleave. The blue orb will be the Helmbreaker 2. And for the yellow orb, that'll be Starfall. And lastly, we have the Evade combo, so that's just dodge and basic attack. So for the red orb, that'll be the Rapid Slash. For the blue orb, it'll be the Stinger. And for the yellow orb, it'll be the Lunar Phase. As for Vergil's other moves, he can teleport to an enemy by locking onto them and then holding dodge. When entering his Sin Devil Trigger ultimate form, a doppelganger will appear to basically do coordinated attacks with him, and if you dodge and spam basic, you can do Rapid Slash, and you can kind of permachain this.
This is how.
What the? Did it stop? Yo, what the? You don't get to play the game. You're done. What the fuck was that? What did I just do? And of course, you can hold ult to do the Judgment Cut and finisher. Now, if you have the blue orb or Mirage Edge equipped, you can hold blue, basic, or the jump button until the weapon glows, and then you can throw out the blade basically to deal slash damage, and if you want, you can tap it again to have it return to you early. And now let's cover the Cub skill moveset. Again, you don't need the Cub equipped to perform these. Starting with the Mirage Blade, if you just tap the pet skill, you can spam it and you actually don't need any pet charges to do it, and this just deals a tiny bit of slash damage. Next is Blistering Blades, where you move the joystick and then you tap on a charged pet skill and it basically hones in on an enemy, dealing slash damage. And after that is the Heavy Rain Blades, where you tap the charged pet skill while standing still, where it rains on enemies, slowing them down and dealing slash damage. And then there's the Spiral Blades, where you hold down the pet skill and stand still, and blades will spin around Vergil, doing slash damage, and this can also juggle enemies, and you can tap them again to shoot out the blades. And finally, if you hold down the pet skill while moving the joystick, the blades will hone in on an enemy and spin around them, and then you can tap it again to shoot them into the enemy, for the Storm Blades. Alright, so now that I finally covered all the moves, let's finally talk about how to do the motivation combo. The first thing you want to do is you want to go into the ultimate here, and you want to make sure that the second toggle is selected, which disables the ultimate animation. Once you do that, you want to make sure that your gauge is full before you start the combo. And once your gauge is full, you can start up the combo. So you want to hold jump, basic attack twice, hold basic and release, red orb immediately, dodge to the side, basic attack and ult, use the Cub skill, basic attack 3 times, pause for half a second, and then spam basic attack for the Yamato C combo. And then you want to hold basic and release for the Judgment Cut, tap ult and tap jump at the same time, tap jump again, and then yellow orb, and then dodge to the side, hold jump for a little bit and release, and then dodge to the side and tap basic attack. And then you want to tap the yellow orb, tap basic, and then tap jump in midair. Then you want to tap the pet orb, blue orb twice, forward dodge with basic attack, and then tap the core gauge for the taunt. And once the taunt is complete, you can go ahead and hit him with the Judgment Cut end, hold ult finisher. Alright, so now let's play it at full speed. This is what it should look like. And you guys happy? Because I spent like the entire weekend until 3 AM molding trying to get this as close as possible to the OG, and I've never been more motivated to fall asleep. Hell, I don't even know what I was doing. I was probably doing the combo in my sleep at that point. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, that's all I'm going to cover before my editor jumps out the window. As for my pull and build recommendations, Vergil will be the new premier slash affix attacker, fully retiring the Leap Bianca Stigmata, and he'll be the new primary teammate to detonate slash stacks from Han Ying. Vergil can do okay as a budget physical attacker, but nowhere near Bianca Stigmata in terms of physical damage, or Han Ying Solus Tune, or definitely anywhere near Selena Pianismo for the physical damage meta. So if you have any of those units with Elisa, you realistically don't even need Vergil to do good physical damage. I highly recommend the weapon for him, especially with deadline timing resonance. The pet is kind of a third priority, and overall I think his pull recommendation is pretty straightforward. If you like Devil May Cry 5, you were already gonna pull him. If you're in high ranking hero, Warzone, or Ultimate Paincage, you'll want him to deal with slash affix zone and bosses. Yes, slash boss is coming into Ultimate Paincage, but Glacio and Ionization has proven to work against even Paincage bosses that are weak to slash, so take that as you will. And if you don't fall into any of these categories, then you can save your pulls for future S rank armor frames. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. When I played the beta, I felt my heart sink a bit when I realized that Vergil has so many moves. Devil May Cry 5 collab, more like I May Cry 5 times collab. This is by far the most complex character to fully understand for its entire kit. Hell, I might be still missing some moves. Maybe there's a whole dodge, click his core passive bar and use red orb twice while holding basic attack, wait for the flash to fly and use the toes to hit the control of my keyboard and tap ult and spin my chair 3 times, and maybe he'll open a portal to my room and cut off my arm. Who knows? But definitely not losing my sanity making this guide. Anyways, join the Discord to get notified for video guides and streams, or just ask questions in chat. Join me on Twitch to get questions answered live and see guides early. Drop a like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe for more guides for future characters. Thank you for my helpers for their guidance, my editors for their much appreciated hard work, my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers, and all the viewers for the support. And special thank you to my friends and family for giving me emotional support through this guide, because I was dying inside. Anyways, the Dante guide should be out soon-ish, probably out. I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, take care, peace late. Never spend out of your own means. Good luck on your pulls. Have fun being motivated, because I'm motivated to sleep right now because it's super late at night. And I'll see you guys later.